But I don't see Chiarelli doing anything other than trying to get an experienced NHL defenseman who can show some leadership. And as you all know, Edmonton has been after Phaneuf for 3 years. And for whatever reason, they couldn't make the deal. So now, if this is, and if you think they're going to give up Yakupov or Taylor Hall or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins for Dion Phaneuf, you better take 2 more guesses.
But I don't think, I think they're going to have to me, if you're looking at that scenario, it's not 1 for 1, but they're going to be able to probably trade Phaneuf, take about $2 million back, and at $5 million a year, he's well worth that. I don't think
he is, and you know what? He'd be a good 3rd or 4th defenseman. I'm not sure if he'd be a good mentor, and that's what he's going to have to be, because you got Nurse coming in from Sault Ste. Marie. He's going to need help. In fact,
he's a big kid. He's a beast.
Yes,
he's going to be a good one. But you're right. He's probably a little bit raw.
Yeah, and but he has to play.
Yeah.
And they've got to get some other guys who can move the puck and get the puck up to the express, because if you can get the puck on the second pass out of your zone, the other McDavid's going to fly with it, and I can see quite a significant turnaround with not a lot of major acquisitions. I mean, just going after players that other guys don't want. And I would go after Phaneuf if the price was right, because he's going home to Edmonton. He can't hide. He cannot hide.
I think the scenario would be just totally different, because you know what? He was put into an impossible position when they made him the captain, and it changed everything. You know, whether you want to talk about his character, his personality, the bottom line is he chews up minutes.
He can play 20. He can play 20 minutes for you as a 3-4 defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
But in Edmonton, if he isn't the number 1 defenseman, then there isn't a steer in Texas.
Yeah, but like I said, they could get guys elsewhere. You talked about him. Who was the guy they got from Boston a few years ago? I think he's their captain right now.
Oh,
Andrew Ference.
Andrew Ference, yeah.
You know, again, just a guy who's, he's not a particularly great guy, but he's a guy that's there.
He's capable.
Yeah.
I would say, notwithstanding the off-ice characteristics of Phaneuf, Phaneuf is a better defenseman than Ference outside of game sense. I think that Dion lacks a lot of game sense, and that you can't buy in a jar and you can't reproduce. So you're always going to be burdened with some of the stupidest plays you'll ever see from one of the great-looking athletes in professional sport. I mean, this guy could be so good if he was smart.
You know, with all the personalities and players that are going to be on the Edmonton Oilers, I bet you Dion Phaneuf would go in there. You'd barely even notice the guy. There's just too many other guys on that team that will be the focus and the spotlight. But again, you know that they're going to have to make some moves with the Leafs. You know, Edmonton's going to have to make some moves. You know, they got the generational player that's great, but they've got so many other deficiencies. We've talked on the show many times before about the Leafs' 2 goalies. There could be a huge, huge trade with Toronto and Edmonton.